Video link, Fay Jones.
Thank you, Madam Deputy Speaker. I'm very proud to declare my interest in that my partner is currently on overseas deployment with the Army and that his mother is the Chief Executive of the Armed Forces Covenant Trust. The Conservative Party is the party of the Armed Forces and the Union, and it is with immense pride that I represent a community of both active and retired service personnel. Brecon and Radnorshire is home to the Infantry Battle School, the Senny Briggs training area, and of course, the barracks in Brecon, which is the home of the Army in Wales. Since my election, I have been banging on the door of the Ministry of Defence to get the Secretary of State to change his mind over the decision to close the barracks in 2027. While I haven't quite won that battle yet, I am so grateful that the Ministry of Defence last week confirmed that the headquarters of the Army will remain in Brecon, even if the closure does go ahead. This is a huge step forward, a resounding acknowledgement of the vital work that is carried out in the barracks. And I extend my heartfelt thanks to every member of the Armed Forces based there and all those who are currently supporting the coronavirus response. 10 years ago, we made a promise to those who have served. Through the Armed Forces Covenant, military personnel should never face disadvantage as a result of their military career. It is not enough to recognise serving personnel with medals and good service accommodation. We need to recognise the lifelong sacrifice that serving your country asks of you. This bill is another step forward in that direction, but I would like to highlight one area where I feel veterans in Wales are being shortchanged. Wales is the only nation in the UK not to have a Veterans Commissioner, somebody who has the sole focus of supporting our veteran community. With vital public services in Wales controlled by the Welsh Government, without a Veterans Commissioner, the voice of former military personnel in Wales is not being heard. Rather than being used for a photo opportunity to boost the Labour Party's public image, veterans in my constituency want to see a comprehensive approach to veterans' affairs, focusing on welfare, mental and physical health, education and employment. Madam Deputy Speaker, this afternoon I spoke to the British Nuclear Test Veterans Association, who are based in my constituency. I know the Minister is working with them as they seek to close the gap, both in our history and in our recognition of their service. But can I encourage him to consider attending the celebration event they are holding later this year, ahead of the 70th anniversary of Operation Hurricane? There are only 2,500 nuclear veterans still with us, and despite it being a little known part of our history, their immense service should be recognised. Finally, Madam Deputy Speaker, I'd like to close with an important point. We must never forget that we would not have a military without military families. Navy wives, soldiers' husbands, RAF children, they have all paid a price they themselves never incurred, something I have come to learn very keenly in the last 6 months. The Armed Forces Covenant should wrap its arms around every military family and ensure that gaps in coverage are ironed out at every level. I commend the Minister for his dedication in bringing this bill to the House and hope he will join me in ensuring that veterans in Wales get the same level of support from the Welsh Government that he is willing to offer their comrades in England. Thank you very much.